Divorce Dad Diaries, day 162, and I'm finally fixing a hole in my wall, starting by taking a sample of the wall with a craft knife, and then from there, it's over to Mara Te Ko, where we're going to grab some supplies. So, first off, we head over to the paint section, because I need to ask someone at the paint section to, do a copy. What's the correct term? Colour matching. That's it. To set up a colour match for me, I asked for half a litre of paint, which is going to be heaps, but it'll be enough that there'll be some left over in case any future accidents. I then made sure to grab a paint roller, just grab one of these little ones, because that's all I need. It was only about $8, and then of course I grabbed some hole filler. I wasn't sure how much I needed. I thought I'd grab the second smallest amount, not quite the smallest, and of course I made sure to grab a knife too while we're at it. I made sure to, because I had the sample from the wall, I knew exactly how big the hole was, so I was able to grab a knife that was bigger than the hole. And then while I was looking at sandpaper, I noticed these sandpaper blocks, which I've never actually tried before, so I thought, you know what, let's give that a go. So, back into the car, I had my paint, and the whole thing only ended up costing me about $42, and most of this stuff can be reused, so I was pretty stoked about that. Now, the thing is, I grabbed all this stuff last Tuesday, a whole week ago, and the following day I got sick, so I do wonder if I managed to pick up the illness while I was in town. But while I was sick, I got bored, and that's when I thought, you know what, I'm going to start filling this hole. But of course, I wasn't in the right mindset, and I realised soon after I started filling it that I actually should have taken the damaged part of the wall out instead of just puttying over top of it, so I couldn't actually get an even coat because the whole thing was kind of bouncing around. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do 2 coats anyway. So after doing that first coat, I then went and had a look for other marks on the wall, found another 2, filled those up as well, and then did a quick check around the hallway and didn't find any more, so easy peasy. The next day I went in with my sanding block and just made sure to get everything back out flat again. At which point I realised, man, I really like the sanding block, so much more than just using regular sandpaper. It's easy to grab, easy to just sand with, honestly. Thought it was great. A bit more expensive than sandpaper, but, does the job, why not? I then gave the wall a wipe down with a wet cloth, just to, prep it for doing the next coat, which, of course, I didn't do that day. I did it the following day. But that second coat was exactly what I needed, and looked so much better after that. And then, of course, I didn't bother to do a sand until the following day after that. You can see why this took so long, especially because it was a few more days after that point when I finally decided to put on my paint clothes, which I, still kept from the old place, and got into painting. And, at first it looked great, so I put an old towel down to prevent any drips and then just went in and did your usual rolling paint coat, really, nothing to it. And immediately I could tell this is a pretty good match. But once it started to dry, I was like, I'm not so sure I'm sold on it. You can see it here on this angle a couple days later when I finally decided to do the final coat. I don't know. I went in and painted it. I knew it was never going to be a perfect match, but it's still pretty good, right? I feel like the only way I'm going to be able to not have it show up would be to paint the whole wall, and I don't really want to do that. Perhaps if I paint a whole corner out or something, it might look less obvious. I don't know. In the end, I just painted it out at an angle rather than having 3 squares in the hopes that it would make it kind of a little bit less obvious. Ta-da! And this is the final product. As you can tell, you can see that it's a slightly different shade. It's almost like the wall is a bit dirty. I can see that I didn't quite sand this cover enough because there's a seam on it. Same with this one. And this one down here as well. I didn't fill it completely. So, not my best work. But you tell at a distance, you're not going to notice it. In fact, unless you're looking for it, you're not going to notice it. So I'm happy with that. Hole fixed. There's a ton of paint left. I'm going to leave it here, put a label on it. It says hallway, and the owners can take that when I leave in case there's any more injuries to this particular wall. And I will catch you on the flip side.